Hello there, YouTube and all my friends. This is gardening in north central Alberta, zone 3. They say we can grow zone 4 where I'm at, but of course people who say that are the ones that are selling you stuff to grow in zone 4. It gets down to minus 40 Celsius, minus 30 Fahrenheit in my area, so yeah, it's safer to grow what is recommended for, like, say, zone 3B, I would say, instead of going and spending a bunch of money on pear trees or cherries or something, and then they don't grow very well. But yeah, so today I'm just gonna do a quick tour, maybe not so quick. Show what's coming up, maybe what kind of videos I'll be putting up, and some of the projects I'm working here at the home farm to gain some self-sufficiency with food. But yeah, here's my potatoes. It's the last Thursday of April, so tomorrow is May 1st. And these potatoes are still good to eat. They're still pretty firm. They got little eyes growing on them, so I'll be chopping those up into more pieces and letting them sit overnight in scab, and then I'll be planting them out. 1st of May is recommended for potatoes and beets. Over here today, what I'll be doing is planting some strawberries. Here. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted some ever-bearing strawberries. Saw these at the hardware store and grabbed them. So I'll be putting those in the ground. We'll go for a walk down there and I'll show you where I'm putting them. Okay, these pieces here, I cut a bunch of spare junk wood I had sitting around, and this is going to be a stand for my beehive I just had delivered. So I'll be putting that together also. And then this is the stand for it. The stand's big enough to hold 3 hives. Just simple. You could use 2x4s. These are a little bit of an offcut. They're smaller than a 2x4. They don't measure quite right, so I had to do some adjustments to my calculations on the go, but whatever, it's easy. It's cheap. I didn't spend any money on lumber. It was just laying around, some of it literally laying in the yard. I bought a can of deck stain that's good for 10 years and had it tinted to a color that shouldn't offend the bees or my eyes or anyone else's. So there we go. That's some of the projects I have on the go. I'll be assembling this hopefully later today or tomorrow. So that's so exciting. If I knew how to video edit, it would be edited out. Yeah, it's not such a great day out. I'll take a walk down here anyways. Might be a fairly short video. Got a lawnmower over there. See how loud it is. Yeah, okay, well, here. So yeah, one of the things on my channel I'll be showing is how to produce my secret ingredient for my gardening. And that's biochar. Here's my biochar production pit. It's primitive technology. Took, like, you know, however long it is, take the shovel out enough dirt to fill a wheelbarrow. And I've gotten, well, you know, a dozen wheelbarrows of charcoal out of that. So here we go. I'm going to be planting the strawberries over here. I'm just going to put these down so I don't have to carry them around with the camera. Alright, so first of all, this is my garden area. It's where all my raised beds are and are going to be going. Over there on the other side of this fence here, I don't know how well you can see it, but got some deer fencing. I'll show that to you in a minute. Actually, go over there first. Let's go over there first. See, well, I guess almost 2 weeks now, but a week ago last Monday there was still snow out here everywhere. So basically only like 10 days into snow-free weather. So here we go, is my apple trees. And I got some T-bars, 7-foot T-bars, zip ties, and deer netting, because deer and apple trees are, well, if you want apples off them, you gotta protect them. Because as you can see here, try to zoom in maybe, zoom in on this, the deer have chewed off all the frickin' branches whenever they start to bud. And yeah, that's no good at all. So I got 3 different varieties. Got like a red Battleford or something. I could have looked at the tag there. That's something else. These are all Zone 3 apples. This one is my Honeycrisp. And it's doing a little better because I bought it a little more mature. But the deer still took a tear at it. I picked the branch up off the ground and trying to root it, so maybe I'll get another tree out of that. Something good always comes out of everything bad, right? Now, yeah, so this used to be a big giant pile of wood here, all the scraps and brush clearings and stuff over the years, and oh, it was just a terrible mess. It's mostly gone now. Burnt it all into charcoal to add to the beds. As I said, I'm in Zone 3, but most of the methods I use are pretty much applicable anywhere, in any environment. Building soil applies to any zone. What I have here is peas down the middle. I got a row of spinach, and I put in a row of beets. Tomorrow or Saturday or whatever. This is all carrots. The beds are hugleculture beds, so they're filled with fallen trees and limbs, a lot of grass and leaf mulch, and then a layer of topsoil that is mixed with biochar, the native topsoil from the ground here, which was not very good. The topsoil is only a few inches deep in a few parts, and it's very full of clay. By adding the biochar and the compost, I get very rich, minerally rich from the clay. It's full of minerals. Excellent soil. It doesn't clump together, and everything seems to grow in it, well, except for these blueberries. They were root bound and planted too late in the season. So yeah, I'm gonna plant strawberries there. Other beds here, I pulled back the mulch and planted peas. Again there too. And then mulching the bed. This mulch will stay on. And I have tomatoes and peppers in the house. So you pull back the mulch, and you have this really rich black. There's some worms already in it. The worms just love this mulch on top. In fact, by the end of the summer, there'll be barely anything on top. It'll all be chewed up. So here you have the bed, you have the hugleculture inside, you have the mulch on top, and if you're planting out of the house, out of seedlings, then it's basically kind of a back to Eden. You're not digging, no tilling. Again, another bed that's mulched, be for seedlings. some Ascap berry bushes, Siberian berry. They are supposed to do very well. Two different varieties, so they cross-pollinate. So there's a strawberry bed that the deer ravaged before winter. So all the leaves going into winter were taken off. Many of the plants didn't survive, and I've been struggling to get something on here that fits because I have these bushes on the end. But whatever. This is the first bed that went in here. This is a little tip for raised beds. Good length is 8 feet long. Get any longer and you can see they start bowing out away to the boards. Got sage. Last year it grew back nicely. This year it looks like it's struggling. Some thyme is supposed to grow back. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. There's some thyme down there. When snow receded like a week ago, this was still green, and then it turned gray. So I don't know if it survived or what's going on with it, but we'll see. So yeah, there's that. And there's water. I'm going to be collecting the rainwater off the shed here, outbuilding whatever, into my big bin. Holds holds quite a bit of water in there. It's not a very good video, but I got 2 of these big bins. I should be able to store enough water. I got a pump. I just plug the pump in there, plug the hose into the pump, the other end of the pump into the open top. And yeah, I got a electrical pump sprayer. Waters up the gardens, really efficient, very cheap. Okay, so this is the dirt I'm starting with. It's just, as you can see, lots of clay, big chunks of clay. It's just, you'd be hard pressed to grow anything in that. So yeah, follow my channel. I'll show you how to turn soil like that, or worse, or better, into something like this. Yeah, you know, when it's dried out, it's still, like, look, it's just rich with, it doesn't clump together, falls apart. Stuff likes growing in it. I got asparagus here. Hopefully it'll start popping up. Savory. I got onions planted already. So in the first week, I got quite a bit planted. These beds, this bed here is simply the hugleculture here. I don't know, I got it mostly filled in. I got some pulled back here, if you can see. I got wood, a tree fell, and I chopped it up. It actually fell right across this bed, so it's very convenient. And yeah, so I just fill in the bottom with big chunks of wood, little chunks of wood on top of the big chunks of wood, whatever scraps and stuff laying around the yard. You can use cardboard, you can any sort of organic material you put in here, and then yeah, and then I just cover up with a layer of mulch. Use grass clippings is great, lots of nitrogen. This is just all these leaves were just the mulch off the beds that I planted in, mixed with a little bit of dirt from the beds when I raked it up. So yeah, just wood, then the mulch, which is going to break down real quick. Even all this, as thick as that is, it'll be gone by the end of the summer. Underneath the dirt and above the wood, all the worms and everything else. I'm just throwing a layer of dirt, so the mulch and then the dirt. This one I'm just going to fill as I go with the potatoes that get planted tomorrow or the next day. Throw the potatoes in there, throw the dirt on top to fill up the bed. And over here, just the other bed, I've got Swiss chard. I had some dill planted over there. This is a goji berry bush. I don't know how well that's going to do. That's my neighbor mowing his lawn, or whatever he's doing, mowing his driveway. I think that's stinging nettle, but I got the golden raspberries in here. Last year I cut all the stalks down and they regrew but didn't produce any berries, so this year I just leave them and see what happens. It's spreading. It's not the best thing to put in a raised bed, obviously. A bed could be used for a lot of other things and raspberry bushes, but deer just, like if I grew this in along the tree line or something like over there, or in a huge yard somewhere else, the deer just eat it, and that's why it's all fenced off and netted here, not very effectively. But yeah, so there's that. So yeah, as I go with the channel, I'll be showing you how to amend your soil without any cost or products from the hardware store or anything. Right, here it is. Here's the process of building soil. What I've done is sifted the soil that I got here that I dug out of the ground underneath the beds. I dug down to the clay level, and like I said, it's about 2 inches. Sometimes it's as deep as a foot. Along the fence line is deeper. But yeah, I just add I got a bunch of old leaf mulches. It's 3 or 4 years old. See all this fungus in there and stuff, and it just powders into, you know, into dirt. So I mixed that with the soil. I don't know if you can see how well you can see it in here. Try to zoom in a little bit. Oh, that doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. Okay, maybe that's a little better. But there's like little bits of charcoal everywhere. Okay. So over here, I just simply pile up leaves, nothing exciting, no work. I don't turn them or toss them. This is mostly last year's. That one is maybe 2 years old. And I got a pile over there that is 3 years old. Digging it out, it's pretty much turned to dirt. Under here, that's my charcoal, right? Comes out of the fire pit. Charcoal. Biochar. I can add compost tea to it. Just leave it out in the open. You can use urine on it. Popular on the more hippie style YouTube channels. They like to do that. But yeah, so I just crush it up in here with the sledgehammer there I showed a second ago. And then run it through this thing I got there. It's what's that, like a 1/4 inch holes in it or something. And I run the dirt through there on that in the wheelbarrow. Just sit that on top of there, shovel that on there, go through the piece